Welcome in, beautiful angel. I am here to do a live for the current eclipse that's happening right now. Oh, it's a doozy. It is a doozy. Okay. Oh, hang on, just let me fiddle. There we go. Yep. Struggling to show up right now. Okay, this full moon, I put some notes in a community post, just before going live, just because that's how I can show up right now. As you can see, I'm in a major rest period, I feel, and I feel like it's important to lean into rest at this time because there's a lot energetically happening right now. A lunar eclipse, a full moon lunar eclipse, can bring like huge endings or huge permanent changes. And with Uranus in the mix, it can be very much like unexpected, right? And yeah, there's like a major rebirth. There's a lot of messages coming through about rebirth that I've been seeing from spirit. So there's like such a big rebirth happening that's causing confusion because it's almost like we don't know. It's like something's definitely ending and the new beginning hasn't quite anchored in yet, so it can be a little bit kind of disorienting. Is this straight? I'm so sorry. Probably a little bit delirious at the moment. Yeah. So there's definitely a big karmic ending happening here. There's a detoxifying of your emotional body as well. So you may notice a lot of old emotions coming up to the surface to be felt. I noticed a big kind of a detox in, it felt like a tantrum. It felt like a spiritual, emotional tantrum coming up because things are also not going to plan in accordance with the mind and what the mind wants and needs. So there's a lot of emotions that are coming up with that as well, but we're also detoxifying our emotional body, okay? There's a lot that can't go with you where you're going, okay? It's really important to rest at this time. Super important to rest because your body's doing its best. You might have a lot of ascension symptoms showing up right now. Like, for example, I'm eating a lot more than usual and I'm just going with it because it feels uncomfortable to not follow it, to follow my original eating pattern. And you've just got to trust, right? This is where you've got to trust what your body's asking for because it's the only way that you can care for it, okay? And saying that, I need water. Hydration will be really important as well. I'm just going to pour myself some water. But yeah, I'd love to hear how you're feeling in this energy because I feel I've been going through a lot. Internally, it's very internal. Very internal. Wherever Pisces is in your chart, you'll notice this big change. Mine's in my MC, which is everything to do with work, destiny, direction, whatever. And I love tarot, I love it so much, but for some reason, I feel like spirit is kind of asking me to even step away from it, or like, I don't know. I never thought I'd say that because I love it so much. I love creating for it. I don't know, maybe like it's going through a change though, and I don't fully know what's happening there, so I still want to show up to it. I don't want to let it go. I've worked like pretty hard to get here as it is, and I feel like I'm kind of being asked to just leave it, but also I don't know what I'm leaving it for, so it's very hard to just like know what's going on right now, honestly. Please let me know if you're feeling this kind of energy. help me not feel so alone with this. I know I'm not, but it's been super stormy here as well. Anyway, let's get into some tarot, because if you're needing more notes on things about this lunar eclipse, I really see it as like the liminal space. Something big is coming in, but there's a lot that still needs to be detoxified. I'm noticing a lot of ulcers on my tongue and things like that. So there's things happening deeper in the digestive system. There's also, if you are feeling called, I'd love to know, leave it in the comments. But if you're feeling your muscles being really sore and tender and tight, I've been stretching out old tightness that I've had for as long as I can remember. So that's causing this kind of permanent change in my body as well. And with that, there's a lot of like detoxing happening throughout my system. So yeah, I feel very dazed and confused, which is very much what's happening. Look at this. What I just cut to. What do you need to release? Which is very aligned here. Very much aligned with this full moon, okay? Because it's like, with this eclipse, it's like we're also becoming aware of things that still need to go, or what we need to release. But anyway, let's see what comes out for this reading, okay? Spirit, what do you have for us? What do we need to know for this full moon eclipse energy? Thank you. Wow. We've got the new moon and the full moon in Aquarius here, with bring love into the situation and show the world the real you. A lot of purple energy, crown chakra. Aquarius, okay. I know at the moment Pluto is in Aquarius. Is it in Aquarius? And it just went out of bounds. You're very close to achieving your goal here. And it might not feel this way. It might not feel that way at all. Because it's like, you know, when I was also shuffling, the Two of Swords kept jumping out today. So it's like you're really having to tune into your intuition here to lead the way, because your eyes cannot see the way forward. It's an act of practice is what I'm getting. It's an act of practice to trust the intuition, to know where to go. Look, the end of a cycle is approaching. The end of a tough cycle is approaching, okay? You're very close to achieving a goal, and the end of a tough cycle approaches. This is the end of a karmic tide situation. There's endings of karmic ties here. Take time to breathe out. Yeah, this is time to slow down. What's this? The disseminating moon. Yeah. This is also highlighting the period after the full moon, after the climax is happening. So it does feel like there's some kind of relief that is coming in with this, potentially shortly after the full moon. I'm seeing the 9th, which is a portal, 999 portal. Oh my God, that kid's carrying a squirrel. Oh, that's so cute. I wonder what a squirrel means. Oh my God, there's like all these families. How cute. Looks like they're going for a picnic. Aww. Take time to breathe out. So yeah, it does feel like there is going to be time for healing, a way to breathe. There's like a breath out that's coming in here. Is anything else from here want to come out, Spirit? Well, it is, I just pulled this one out. It is a full moon in Pisces. balance, a win-win outcome is forecast. There's some kind of balance that's taking place here between the physical and the spiritual, between the astral and the 3D. There's definitely some kind of balance happening here, and that might be bringing in the scales of rebalancing. I'm feeling justice restored after this difficult, tough cycle. Some kind of achievement is going to be reached of a past dream that you've had. What else, Spirit? What have we got here? Yeah, look, resilience. You've really had to be resilient, right? This cycle that we're in clearing ancestral roots, ancestral trauma, breaking chains of the old. There's a lot about community coming through here too. It feels like there's been a release for the ancestors. Take that if it resonates. But also, okay, this red string theory, I've been drawn to a lot, okay? We'll see what other cards come out, but it does feel like there is sort of divine unions happening here. Like you've really had to go at it alone. You've really had to go at it alone. And you've really had to use a lot of stored energy, okay? Because with the succulents here, they store water and can pull from it to allow them to to live for very long periods, right, without actually being watered. So it does feel like you've had a lot of, or you found those inner resources. You've tapped into those inner resources to help you get through this time of, I just heard solitude, isolation, okay? There's some divine, this is really giving divine union coming in after a time of being very resilient, after a time of dealing with a desert. I've been very drawn to deserts of late and boundaries. It feels like this resilience, this time of isolation, this tough cycle that you've been in, it's been to build these boundaries that you've needed. Because you're an empath, right? You're an empath and you faced a lot of trauma in the past. And you didn't know that you didn't know you were actually worthy of boundaries, right? You learnt it from your family tree. Look at that. I just pulled out abundance. Abundance. Abundance is coming in. Do you know they used to use these shells as a form of currency? So this could be like a new financial stream of money coming in, a new source of abundance flowing in for you. You've needed to have this time away from others to get to the root of true abundance. And I keep seeing this unlimited potential here. And I just saw 1333. So you've been creating this inner sense of abundance. You've been creating this relationship to understanding abundance is unlimited and you being worthy of it. The solitude has been worth it. The solitude has been necessary. Look at this, metamorphosis. Your abundance is going through a metamorphosis. Your relationships are going through a metamorphosis. Yeah. I've been really, really drawn to butterflies lately. So there's a big transformation happening here from one state of reality to another. If you think about it, the caterpillars on the earth, butterflies in the sky. Look at this. Beacon in the sky. Gratitude. With all this water here, it really feels like gratitude is like, it's either been a little bit hard through this, because I'm more drawn to the melancholy that you could be feeling right now. But you're also, despite how long the periods of melancholy last, you're able to come back to gratitude. It does feel like there's like fundamentals, a foundation in gratitude here. You're becoming the beacon, right? You're becoming the beacon. You're following your own North Star, even away from things that you thought might be the real you. But perhaps you're still having to leave things behind that you didn't think you'd have to, right? That you thought would come with you. This isn't easy. Yeah, there's a lot of emotions happening at the time of this full moon, because, yeah, look at all the water. I mean, it is a Pisces full moon, but there's a lot of emotions coming up at this time because it's a detoxing. It's a detoxification. It is a detoxing that's happening, okay? You're to reach these new heights, to go these higher heights, you have to release these stored emotions, yeah? A lot of rainbows here. Rainbows might be a sign. Look at this, receiving. It's your time to receive. You're transforming into an ability to easily receive, yeah? It's your season to receive. It's all unfolding naturally for you, okay? It's all going to be unfolding very naturally for you. It is time to relax. It's time to trust, yeah? It's time to trust. Trust in the universe's power. Because maybe you're someone that hasn't believed that you're enough, that you've always had to keep doing more and more and more. Perhaps rest is not easy for you. Perhaps rest feels uncomfortable. Because all your worth has been tied up in action, when in reality you're born worthy, yeah? Let's get a couple of these. I am going to dive into some tarot soon. Look at this, receiving. It says, every day it becomes easier to receive. See? It becomes easier to receive the highest divine plan and to trust my inner guidance. So there's definitely an ease of trust coming in here. Perhaps not initially, because you've got to purge out all the lack of trust first. We've got individuality. So there is this realer version, more truthful version, more truthful expression of you coming out here. Every person has their own personalized study plan in this earth school. Yeah, so this is like you're following your own North Star, right? Into this very individual expression of you. And it's going to turn heads, is what I just heard. It's going to turn heads. Divine abundance. You were born to align with love's will, follow the Tao, and serve something beyond the ego. Learn to be abundance, not to chase it. Right, I'm feeling that one. I feel like there's so much about like taking action, you know, that can be so confusing, because it's like, if you have this fundamental belief that nothing can happen without you taking action, then you're going to take too much action, and you're going to end up forcing it or over creating it, right? Because at the base of it, you don't believe that there is this universal force that's co-creating and equally working with you. So this not chasing it feels kind of difficult. And we've also got karma here. There's nothing from a past life that can't be addressed in this current life. Ooh. Weaving webs of fate. This is releasing past karmas, yeah. This is non-duality as well. This is something that we're also sort of healing from, right? The duality of life. Let your authentic humanity shine forth while also bowing to the inner divine. You can become fluent at doing both. Releasing self-judgment. Something's happening right now. Stay connected to the present moment. Okay. Let's get some tarot going for this message. Okay, Spirit. It's too many. I told you, justice being served. You've spent so much time cutting out a lot of imbalance in your life. When the Justice card shows up, we've been really getting clear on patterns that have been present in our life, you know, getting really aware of things that are causing energy leaks, things that are causing, that are attracting drama, that are attracting chaos, right? Freshly washed my hair today. Yeah, this is... The Justice card is absolutely anything that causes or weighs too heavy in either way. It's removing it, and it's removing it with power, knowing. You know, there's not much emotion in the Justice card because it emanates the Queen of Swords. They're very similar in ways. But it's also very similar to the High Priestess because they both sit before a veil. So there's always an unknown kind of connection, communication that comes from somewhere beyond the veil that guides us into this greater sense of balance. But we have to become aware of the things that are around us that are causing that imbalance and removing it to come back to a truer version of ourselves, a more truthful version of ourselves. That's coming through a lot. So it feels like that's a big theme that's happening right now. Let's put it here. Okay. Oh. Full moon, look. Full moon. I love it when the full moon cards comes out, but we've also got it with the Hermit, and look, there's that 9 energy. We are in a 9 month, we are in a 9 year, and we're coming up to a 999 portal. That day is going to be very relevant for you. There is something unexpected, unseen happening on that day. It feels like there will be evolution happening. Evolution, a higher ascension happening on that portal day. I mean, look, even the moon is 9. It's 18, right? This is the ending. Something will be ending by that date. It's something unseen because the moon always talks about, you know, the dark side of the moon is there's always something unseen. There's always something unknown to the moon, okay? Beyond the veil. The veil is thin, yeah? With this Hermit card, it's like you're definitely in isolation. You're definitely in isolation. You're deeply swimming with this subconscious connection with yourself right now. Yeah? It's like you're floating somehow in this kind of depth of yourself, and you're finding this inner light that's guiding you. You're finding a deeper connection with your intuition here. It's almost like you're taking a deep journey with God in a way, because the Hermit card always talks about going into the labyrinth with spirit, and we learn to read symbols, we learn to reflect, and the reflection that we do allows us to tie off and finish old karmic connections, karmic ties, cutting cords. I keep hearing evolution at the moon. It does feel like there is a subconscious clearing of this old journey that you've been on for a very long time with the Hermit. You've been on this very long journey. You're looking back at it. You're just looking at it. There's a lot of memories coming up right now. There's a lot of subconscious programming coming up, being cleared out, is how it's coming through here. Yeah, okay. So we've also got the Four of Wands with Six of Cups and Hanged Man. Yeah, look, we're completing some kind of past, because this is always like, you know, revisiting the past, nostalgia, looking back at the past with kind of understanding, remembering. There's some completion here, because the Four of Wands always talks about a completion. It is the Lord of completion. So it's about completing a vision. You're completing this past journey into healing. There's balance coming in to your emotional state because of all the emotions that are being released. So it's coming back into balance. 6 is always the number for harmony and balance. So it's like your emotions, while you're remembering and releasing, you're also coming into harmony with an inner child aspect of yourself, remembering that version of you. And it's like you're in this period of being in the hanged position. It's a pause, it's a waiting card, it's trusting in divine timing, it's resting. It's truly all you can do is rest when we have the Hanged Man, because our energy is somewhere else doing deep work, deep purging work. There's the rest. There is the rest, right? Four of Swords. Take rest right now. You need it. There is absolutely celebration here. I want to say on a sort of spiritual aspect, in like a spiritual way. It feels like ancestors celebrating you. Do I want to take these? Look, Five of Swords here with the Six of Wands. It's like you're coming to this victory. You're coming to this victory of recognition. You're being seen. You're being received. You're being celebrated, right? But right now, your mind is kind of like facing challenge. Your mind space is facing a lot of challenge, but because it's like it's detoxing a lot of illusion, a lot of karma, right? Look, Nine of Pentacles, self-sufficiency. Look at this. This is what it landed with. Unexpectedly coming into self-sufficiency, independence, financial independence, and the completion of a vision. Okay. 999. Anything else want to come out, Spirit? Oh, this came out before when I was shuffling. 10 of Swords. It's an ego death. We are preparing to move into the new day. Okay? We're releasing the past. Releasing this old dense version of us. And we are going... That's the rebirth. The death card doesn't need to be out to be rebirth. Look at this. Another 9. 9 of Cups. A wish fulfillment. A wish fulfillment. You're in the waiting right now. You're in the waiting of it. But we're coming to a wish fulfillment. 10 of Pentacles. Yo. Queen of Cups. Distilling and purifying. Expanding in the heart space. Going through an internal expansion. Leaning into healing. Leaning into rest. Leaning into trust and faith. Leaning into our intuition, and it's guiding us to a very abundant realm. A very abundant receival. Okay. Oh my gosh, the moon came out again. Oh my god. Yeah, there's a lot of moon energy here. And look, we've even got this on the bottom of the deck with the 8, with all the moon phases. So it's like we're coming to this end of this phase, this very long phase, and we're finding a very unique and empowered flow here. There's still something very unexpected. The Hierophant actually came out reverse, which is like you're internally very connected to very high benevolent realms here. You're channeling them in, and it's causing this rebellion. It's causing this rebellion to walk away from what's expected of you, what society deems of expecting of you. There's also a message of soul tribe coming in here. Soul tribe coming in. Okay. 9 of Wands, the wounded warrior. Another 9. Yeah, you've been on a journey for a really long time here. Look at this. There's a lot of recognition that's going to be coming in. You've been on a very long journey in building those boundaries, yeah? Those new boundaries, even within yourself, yeah? And it's like you're at this completion point. You're stronger for this now. You're more empowered because of this journey. And now there is recognition. It does feel like you're being seen. Look, 10 of Swords again. There is a brand new day breaking. It hasn't broke just yet, but you can see it, you can smell it, you can sense it. Yeah? Yeah. And it's out of this lackful state. This is potentially somewhere that you're still experiencing, right? Somewhere that you're still experiencing, because we're coming to completion. We're coming to this ultimate completion. But there's like, you know, limiting beliefs that we're still breaking out of here by coming into this unity consciousness, by coming into this openness. Yeah. In this time of solitude, 4 of Wands again with the Sun. Yo. You're protecting your peace, and it's allowing you to release deep states of emotion. It's giving healing, right? It's giving healing. Healing, you're on that healing energy, healing phase. Healing journey is what I mean to say. You're a walking mystery to some people, look at that. Because people can't work out what you're doing right now because you're following spirit. And they're sending you spiritual warfare, but you are protected. Yeah. Yeah, look, telepathic communication. I feel like you're someone that could really easily sense the energy that is sent your way. The people that are sending it have peasant energy because they refuse to step up and honor their own sovereignty, so they become peasants to the system. They are surrounded by your echo. You've left them behind. You might have been leaving behind karmic relationships here. Not easy to do, but very necessary. You have had a throat chakra activation here. Look, you are the Philosopher's Stone. So this is like, you really do understand the law of attraction. You understand manifestation. You understand the symbols that are being shown to you. For this card to come out, you really do understand how the universe communicates with you. You're leaping over every obstacle here. It might not feel like you are, because there's loud fear it actually came out reverse. There's loud fear that's being released from the throat chakra even. Look, they have no self-control. It's more comments on the people that you're leaving behind or have left behind. Look at this. You've definitely left some people behind. I know how hard that can be. I know how hard that can be. There's so much to it. There's so much grief that comes about it. Look, unplug and relax. Now's the time. And it's so funny because I've been doing that since the last moon, since the new moon in Virgo. I sort of still did bits and pieces, but these last 2 weeks, really, I have just like unplugged as much as possible. You know, I've still posted sort of daily messages here and there. But I feel even more of a pull away from it, which is kind of scary for me. But now's the time for it, right? Listen to your body. It's asking you to unplug and to relax. You've also been under attack by this spiritual warfare, it feels. You know what? This is really giving that spiritual warfare and the healing and distillation that takes place. You know, like releasing it, processing it. You're being prepared. Rest now. You're having a psychic power activation, okay? You're having that's definitely expansion into new psychic awareness, emotional awareness, psychic abilities. Look at this. I keep getting this message that there's this unknowing of what's going to happen next, but whatever it is, it's going to be big. Confirmation. Okay. Anything else that wants to come out here, Spirit? You definitely sense it. Yeah. No more of this. No more dimming your light, making you small to make others feel comfortable. It's not happening anymore. This comes out for me. This keeps coming out for me. You're being watched. This feels like higher divine realms. White hats. You're being observed. Galactics. Yeah. Fear can no longer survive here. Oh my God. And I keep getting this message of a harvest. I keep seeing a scythe. I think it's called a scythe. Where it's like we're harvesting. There is an abundant harvest happening here. Where money grows on trees for you. And you are paid to exist. Your vision is coming to fruition. It's coming to completion. There will be celebration. The new day is coming. You're in this phase of releasing that old phase. Let's see if anything wants to come out from here. Ninth house. Huge positive impact. What you're doing right now is having a huge positive impact. It looks like there's going to be a lot of fun coming in here with the 5th house popping out, and Leo's there as well. So it's like double 5th house energy here. And it's like, you know, the 5th house is all about the sacral chakra, fun, creativity, hobbies, pleasure, entertainment. So it feels like you're going to be moving into this very sort of creative, fun, like, yeah, exciting energy. Yeah. Rejection and disappointments coming through. I feel like that's also something that's really happening. Yeah, look, that's what we're moving away from. Whatever's ended recently. Look, pamper yourself. Self-care, honestly, Spirit's saying, self-care is so important right now. Pamper yourself. Let yourself be lazy. There's no such thing, but like, just let yourself just be right now. Take extra time to relax. I saw Sagittarius. 4th house. Foundations, unhealed psychological patterns or emotional patterns coming up. The home, family, it's all highlighted here. Island life. Look, you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Okay, that's what's happening under the surface. There's money as easy as breathing coming out here, and island life. And look, oh, thank you for your service. Isn't that beautiful? You're doing such a great job here. You are doing such a great job here. Let's just get a couple of these, and then I love doing lives. I love it so much. Once I get going. Stream of good luck. Yeah. Something else you don't see happening. A eulogy to the old me. So there's that sort of death to the old version. Release of the old. Release of the you that's been stuck in the matrix. So fireworks. Look at this. This is actually such a cute little message from Spirit to me, because whenever they show me this card in my vision, sometimes they show it to me when I'm like, I cannot be doing it perfectly right now. I'm literally laying in bed all day. I'm sleeping late. Today I slept till 11 a.m. And I went to bed about like 12-ish. Probably like 12. I went to bed at 12:22 actually. I've been seeing that number a lot. But 12:30. So it's still like almost like an 11-hour sleep, even though the storm woke me up for quite some time last night. So, but they still show me this card. You're doing it perfectly. And I'm like, I cannot be. I'm not going for walks. I mean, the weather's not really supportive of that at the moment, but like, it doesn't feel like I'm doing it perfectly. It feels like I'm being lazy, but that's a program. That's part of the programming that's being released. And I honestly feel like the more you just sort of lean into it, relax and trust in the process, trust in divine timing, you know, you release the programming and it becomes much easier to rest. Less guilt, right? People are gossiping. People are gossiping and it's causing interference. You probably just sense it, right? You could be revisited by people from the past around this new moon. I know I've had an ex pop up. Powerful aura. Just keep moving. I feel like with exes, just keep moving. They're gossiping. Don't give them the time of day. They're not worth it. You're following the white rabbit, Alice. That's how it feels, right? This is full moon. We're just like, there's no clear direction. We're just going into no man's land. A new home keeps popping up. I don't know what that's about. I keep getting that message so much and I'm like, I'm in a new home. I don't understand. You are the secret weapon. Grounded, stable life here. That's what we're coming to. Regal and royal energy. The remembrance. Yeah, okay. let me just see. That regal and royal energy's been popping out for me in my own readings. Look at this! Over the... Literally. And you... It just fell over this wish fulfillment. Like, I really want to be buying my own home soon. There it is. Oh, and the peacock. The true self. Letting the true self fly. That's that sovereign energy, truly. And we've got the widower coming out. So this is definitely the release of the old. The melancholy that we feel about the release. Okay. And the feminine energy. I love it. Consolation prize coming in. A gift from the divine. It's all here. It's all here. Money is easy as breathing. That's what you deserve. That's what you're worthy of. And that's what's anchoring in as part of this new day. They just showed me this. As part of this new energy, yeah? So this difficulty with money that you've maybe experienced in this past cycle that you've been a part of for a very long time, it's still present. You're still in it. You're still in that reality. But money as easy as breathing is like this new day breaking. Yeah, and you might have even had signs and symbols of like money coming in, like maybe finding coins or finding money, right? Yeah, it's all coming. It's all coming. That's all I can keep saying. I'm so sorry because I'm right there with you. I have also been receiving the signs of like, yes, it's coming. It's coming. And I'm like, cool. It's about trusting in divine timing. Because whatever's happening in the meantime, like I've been leaning in a lot to stretching, taking care of my body. And the releases that I'm having from that are pivotal, honestly. And maybe all this time of relaxation is so that that work can get done. But it's hard to trust it because it's like, and I think maybe, you know, if there wasn't this much pause, maybe I wouldn't be leaning into stretching as much as I am, you know, and therefore would still be carrying all that tension in my body. So you just got to trust in divine timing. A stream of good luck is coming. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. Dare I say now, anchoring in now. You're going to start seeing the signs of it now. Right? Anyway, that's what I'm getting for this full moon in Pisces. Lunar eclipse, yo. Let me know in the comments down below if you're feeling any of this energy. Just take the bits that resonate, obviously. And I hope this was helpful. I hope this found you well. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm going to get back to resting. And yeah, I'm actually really proud of myself for even showing up in this way. I feel like this new version of me is absolutely coming online, and I don't... how it would fit into my old routines, that's where I get all confused and kind of like unsure. And all my old routines were to do with like my filming schedules and things like that. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but I'll keep you posted. And thank you so much for being here, and thank you for tuning in, and I'm sending you so much love. Bye bye. Happy full moon. Happy lunar eclipse. Bye.